Hello again, my peeps. Welcome back to Tuesday Talks. I know it's been a few Tuesdays that I haven't talked to you guys. I've just been focusing on other areas of my business and such and life. But I thought since today is Valentine's Day, it would be fitting to do what I've done on other Valentine's Days, which is to talk to you about my love life. Ooh. I'm going to share as vulnerably as I feel like I want to, but I will share some things about my love life vulnerably here on this Tuesday talk, and hopefully it will be encouraging to you and it will enrich your life in some way. So when I talk about my love life, I am speaking as a woman, of course. I am speaking as a Christian. I am speaking as an extra-abled woman. And I'm speaking as a 43-year-old woman. Okay, I said woman a lot. I guess I really feel like a woman right now, you guys. But those are the perspectives that I'm coming from. And so let's start at the beginning. I grew up, with a very wholesome childhood, I would say. I grew up in the country. We didn't have a TV till I was like 10. Not because there wasn't TVs, but just my parents wanted us to be creative. And so, we didn't get to watch movies and stuff like that till we were older, and grew up in church and all of that stuff, but in that context we didn't really talk a lot about love, marriage, those kinds of things. So I was very, very sheltered about those topics. But as I got into my preteen and teen years, I was very wishful about romance. Like, I remember every year I would start school, probably starting in about 5th, 6th grade, I would be like, this is the year I get a boyfriend. This is the year where I really come into my own and, have a boyfriend, and we fall in love and we'll be married in our early 20s and have kids. Like, I really believed in that. And I did have my first boyfriend in 8th grade, who, by the way, I don't know if he watches my channel. I won't share. You know who you are if you watch my channel. He was the best boyfriend I ever had in my life. Honestly, he was such a gentleman, such a nice guy. And, he really honored me in the way that he treated me. He was a Christian. We listened to Amy Grant songs. The furthest we ever went was a kiss on the cheek. Like, we literally never kissed on the lips. It was really like the best form of puppy love you could ever ask for in life. And so that was like my first relationship, I guess you would say. And it was very edifying. Unfortunately, he ended up moving away when I went to high school, and we didn't really stay in touch. Although we are friends on Facebook now, but he's married. Anyway, you guys don't know who he is. But anyway, my point is that, I would say that, like, my first experiences were very, wholesome. So I went into high school and everything changed. I just started to feel like rejection from my peers. I was getting bullied about how I looked. Nobody ever asked me out. I sat alone in the locker room at lunch, usually with a gal friend. Sometimes I would eat with people, but in general, because the lunchroom was such a tense area, and that was where I felt bullied the most, I kind of ate alone. And I started to not feel like I loved how I looked. I started to feel like maybe I'm not worthy of love. Maybe I won't ever, have this love story that I'm hoping for. And that's where I think those building blocks of like this wholesome, like love at first sight, we will fall in love and get married kind of construct started to lose its luster, so to speak. So then I go into college and I'm still hopeful. Oh, still, like I'm like, high school's behind me. I'm gonna meet someone in college and get married. And I went all through college. Again, I was part of a church in college that I love, and I still love the people to this day. It was such a great experience. But I really I was very dedicated to my purity. And so, it was the purity movement at the time. And so I made a decision to, save myself for marriage. And I stuck to that. I did go on some dates in college, but it was such a difficult time in that respect, because I saw all my girlfriends that I was in college with and going to church with, they were getting married and paired off. They were, I went to 200 weddings from my freshman to my senior year, you guys. No, I have to say my freshman to like a couple years after graduation. But in a matter of like a few years, I went to 200 weddings, if you can imagine that. So, a lot of opportunities to meet people, like other Christians. I had a lot of guy friends that were Christian. And I just thought, like, I kept thinking, well, kind of like going back to grade school, like this year is the year that, a wonderful Christian guy with a Bible under his arm asks me out, and we fall in love and we love Jesus and we have kids and we have this beautiful life serving God and worshiping God. And that was truly like this pure-hearted, wholesome ideal that I had in my mind. Well, it never happened. And I started to really again, that construct of that, that idea for me in my life just started to lose its luster, its hope. And so then I graduated from college, and that was a rough time in my life, you guys. I've gone into the details of that in another video, but let's just say it was trauma central. I was facing a lot of interpersonal trauma. Just things started to fall apart. And I experienced some abuse. I experienced financial difficulties, health issues, all this stuff. And, I just kept having this idea that Prince Charming was going to come and save me from all of that. And I would say I was probably 28 or so when I was like, I'm done dating. I had gone on some really, really messed up dates. The church kind of started to dissipate a little bit. And, we were in our late 20s now. Not everyone was getting married, and things were slowing down in that department. And so I started to see that ideal was probably slipping away. And because of that, I started replacing, I'll just date anybody. I started to try online dating, and started dating people that didn't go to church and just stuff like that. And it was just messed up. I mean, I would just say it was kind of icky. That's the only way I'll put it into words. And so at 28 or 29, I was like, this is not going well for me. And that was when my career really started taking off. That was when I graduated with my master's degree in counseling, and I got a job as a school counselor. I was really coming into my own and starting to make my own money. So coming out of that poverty, that financial disarray, like I was sharing earlier, and starting to really feel confident in myself. And so I was like, you know what, I can do this. I basically made the decision, I'm not going to date. I'm not going to actively, basically what I did is I quit on the Disney dream. I just kind of was like, I've been believing this for 29 years and it has not gone well. So I'm done with the white picket fence, rom-com kind of love ideal, and I'm just going to focus on my career. And that is what I did. So then we get to my early 30s, and I kind of started to lose my resolve. And that was where I would say that I had some moral conundrums at that time in my life. I won't go into any major details because I don't think anyone needs to really know. That's my personal business. But let's just say that I did not act ladylike, okay? And I kind of was like, you know what? I mean, I basically was just like, I was really raw. I was really upset, and I was just like, why did this never happen for me? Like, why has love never been real for me? Why can't I was just like, you know what, this isn't happening. So what am I waiting for? Like, I remember saying, like, for what? Like, I literally would say it out loud, for what? For what? For what? You know? And so it was just like, you know what? If nobody's coming for me, and this pure love story where I save myself doesn't exist, then why am I doing this? Okay, not the right way to go about it, but I was just mad. I was frustrated. That is like, you know, I did it all the right way, so why didn't this happen for me? And then, you know, a couple years of just like not behaving in a way that is fit for a lady, I started to feel really bad. And then I was like, you know what, this isn't the way either. This isn't the right way. Like, I felt icky, I felt degraded, like it was not a good experience. And I just remember being like, okay, well, this is definitely not the right choice for me either. And 10 years ago, January 1st, so this last New Year's Eve, January 1st of 2023, was my 10-year anniversary. When I was 33, I made a decision to be celibate, like fully celibate, meaning like just not dating, like choosing to live without that kind of intimacy, without sexual intimacy. Let's just say it, okay? I can say that word. I'm a grown up. I can say that word. And just saying, you know what? I want to honor God with my life. I want to honor God with my body, just like the Bible says. And so I kind of experienced both sides of extreme purity and then the opposite side of that, and just said, you know what? If this isn't part of my story, then I'm gonna fully just take back my story and live my life for God. So I've been doing that for 10 years. 10 years. I'm so proud of myself. I have not faltered. I have not messed up. I've gone on dates. I have kissed, and that's it. You know, go on a date, maybe kiss, good night, and I've made out a couple times, but nothing that made me feel like I went beyond the line. You know, so yeah. Let me tell you, like, it has built a lot of strength in me. These are the things I've learned from being celibate for 10 years. I have learned that love isn't physical. Like, the true essence of love is your highest good. The true essence of love is the greater good for humanity. The true essence of love is giving back and loving yourself. And so I really, really have gotten so good at loving myself. And I mean that in like a self-care, like eating good food, exercising, knowing when I need space and honoring that, listening to my own inner voice and intuition. It has definitely allowed me, like even just a couple days ago, you know, some guy was spitting game at me or something, and I just was like, this isn't working. like I could see through what was going on, and I was just like, no, thanks though, but no, you know. And am I open to love still? I mean, to having a relationship? Yes. But the thing is that I've been alone so long and I've been celibate for so long that it's not something that I would do because I need it. It's because I would want that person in my life, because that person makes my life better, because when I'm with that person, I feel like my best self. Yeah. And I'll probably save this for a whole other video because I've been talking now for 15 minutes. So, I think that a big part of, why I'm okay with being alone is also because I still have a lot of inner healing to do. I've been through trauma. I've been through, every kind of trauma you can think of, I've been through. And so when like that kind of deep, lasting intimacy is hard for me to imagine, because being close to someone surfaces so many things, and that's why I prefer to kind of to connect with my community, to be a happy, loving person, and to care about people, but to everyday intimacy, living with someone. At this moment, at age 43, it doesn't have a lot of draw for me. I'll just say that, okay? Maybe someday when there's more healing and I'm in a place where I feel sturdy and ready to press into that kind of love, sure. I still have half my life left, you guys. I may be one of those way late bloomers that was that a Freudian slip? I just said blamers. Okay, I'll work on that in therapy. Okay, anyway, I might be one of those late bloomers that, gets married when I'm 50 and adopts children because, yeah, that's another thing is my childbearing years are pretty much over unless God does a miracle. So anyway, on that note, thanks for watching Tuesday Talks, and I hope you're having a wonderful Valentine's Day, and I hope that the version of love that you want in your life has happened for you or will happen for you. I'll see you again soon.